Greetings, it's Vaygrim. Welcome to a Tuesday episode of ForgeCraft 2. It's good to get back into the rhythm of things. Here I am in the B area. Everything looks pretty good. We had a really bad stint. I believe it was either Thursday or Friday. Most of the way through the weekend, ForgeCraft 2 was very much up and down. We had an item stack null value crash or something. I don't understand. I don't know. Anyway. I've been working on various projects and things. Botania, the last few episodes, I'm going to divert myself to some bees this episode, so brace yourself. By the way, speaking of Botania, there is going to be a build coming very soon, which is going to obsolete my primary easy power source. So I'm going to have to reevaluate what I want to do. All those hydrangeas will decay, forced decay, inside of, about 2 days. And, 2 in-game days, which is going to be about, 40 minutes or something like that. Less than an hour, basically. And, nothing new there. So I'm going to have to reevaluate if I want to do thermal lilies and have my BC floodgate working to place lava constantly. That could be good. Don't know. I'm going to have to figure that one out, though. Yeah. But we'll address that later when that build comes. Basically, there's a change going into Botania that is going to make flower decay forced. There will be no config option to turn it off anymore. So Vazky wishes, so Vazky declares. This fine Minecraft morning, I actually want to look into specifically the second part of some of this Gendustry stuff that I've been dealing with, okay? Got some basic machines, this sampler. You run a random bee through here. You've got these blank sample gene samples and genetics labware, which I think is a very interesting consumable. Takes diamond and some glass. And you get a random trait off of your bee. If it's a trait you don't need, I just put it in the furnace. It gets cooked and then automatically item piped right around the corner back into here. Boop, there you go. Nice and easy. Well, when you get enough of those traits, you can get a template and start making all the different parts. If you look at this, speed, fast, flowers, normal flowers, whereas flowers could be nether flowers, which I think is netherrack or soul sand, I can't remember which. Ignores day night, true, even species. I have this one up here that does not have the species intentionally. It's got all the other, effect none, right? One of the bees I'm looking for right here, it is day-night, and this one actually does require flowers, but this one requires nether, and all of them have a very nasty effect. You notice the biome, hellish, arid, and all of them have a very nasty effect where they want... Or they have an effect called aggressive, I think it is. Let me look. Yeah, aggression. And aggression is nasty. So with this, I can take all of those traits and standardize them, make them faster, give them shorter lives, give them a higher yield, all sorts of great stuff. I do want flowering to go up. I need to find a better one of those. I need to find a bigger territory area. I think that'd be cool. Cave dwelling true, which means that they can work underground. They don't need the sun. I need to get that one. I don't think I have that yet. But here's what I've been working on, okay? I'm working towards an Edenic bee. Edenic bees have an effect. They generate experience. One of the things that I am most standardly slowed down by, I have a lot of armor that I want to enchant, a lot of equipment that I would like to enchant. But I can't because I can only spend so much time in the end because we haven't defeated the Ender Dragon. And it's still too dangerous. I don't want to do it by myself because I know that I have server mates that might want to kill it. And so basically I need experience. And the Edenic bee is the one that actually generates experience while it is alive, quote unquote. Well, in order to make an Edenic bee, I need an exotic and a tropical. I went to my friend Mysterious Age's house, and he is a bee pro. Well, needless to say, I have a tropical bee right there. I borrowed a few of all of his other ones. He had more than enough, trust me. I did not take any that he only had a few of. These are all the ones that he had stacks of. So I borrowed some bee species from him so I could kind of kickstart my progress. I've got my templates here. And normally what I would do is if I had a blank template and I have a modest, I would get my modest. I would get a blank gene sample. Put that in there. I'd put that in there. Dun, dun, dun. This is a transposer. It literally copies. So now I have species modest, which means I can always keep a backup of certain specific species. That's Rocky right there. So now I could get this and combine them by just doing this. Now I already have that. It says modest. I'll do it again though, just to get the blank sample back and save me some time. We'll put that back in there. Now I have this. What can I do with this? Well, I can either apply these traits onto something else, or I could get another queen, or I could put this in here and generate from the gene replicator. It uses protein, which is literally liquid meat, and liquid DNA, which is basically liquefied bees. So it uses liquid meat and liquid bees to make a fresh new bee. The only thing is you have to have all 13 chromosomes. You have to have a completely filled out genetic template. So now I have a modest queen. Okay? It's going to make another one for me. What I need to do now, always on, let's put that in there, and perfect. Okay, so now it's got all the traits already. It is the temperature that I want. It wants flowers. It works day or night. It will fly in the rain, which means I don't even need my rain shield here. And I let this live out its life. Now, normally I would have something in here called an automation upgrade, right? The automation upgrade could keep cycling them through to get more and more stock. Like I would normally want to do to build up, say, a stack of Imperial or Industrious drones or Modest drones, whatever. Well, I'm not going to do that because I specifically need to get a princess that I can actually imbue. Now, option number 2, we could go through here. I've got a sorceress princess. I'm going to take this out, put this in. Let's get that sorceress princess and see if we can turn it into a modest princess. Put that right there. See if that's going to work. So there's 2 different routes to the same target, basically. It's going to work. There we go, a modest princess. So now I don't have to wait for this to cycle through. Now, previously we used something called a mutatron. I have since upgraded it to the advanced mutatron. Let's go to advanced mutatron. There we go. You get your normal mutatron. You do a couple of these genetics processors, right? A power module, not real hard stuff. A whole bunch of bronze gears and a nether quartz. You get an advanced mutatron. What's the difference? Well, the advanced mutatron lets me put a modest princess and a tropical drone in, and it shows me what are you going to get from these 2. Wait a minute. Let's go back to our Edenic. I'm missing a step here. Exotic. Austere. That is modest and frugal. Frugal is modest and sinister. So I still technically need this modest princess. So what I'm going to do is my modest princess, my sinister drone. Well, I have choices. I can do either a fiendish queen or a frugal queen now. I'm going to do frugal. It is going to use some of my mutagen goop, and I now have a frugal queen. Unfortunately, this means that I'm going to have to, well, first I need to identify this thing. Boop. Diurnal Nocturnal requires cacti. Hot Arid, I don't know if it'll work here. Okay, I see bees. I think it's going to be okay. I think that's within enough temperature tolerance that it'll be fine. Once this finishes, we can pull this out. Now, I'm getting all these combs, all these different kinds of combs, and there's all these different uses. Rocky comb, you can actually start making, I think, cobblestone out of. Mossy comb. Run it through a centrifuge, you get beeswax and honey. Let's see. Mundane comb. What's the use for that? Yeah. Honey, beeswax, and some magic wax, which has all sorts of neat uses. One of the things that I've recently come across was the sinister bees. I wanted to keep my sinister princess and sinister drone specifically because, no. If we do U for uses, it gives refractory wax. Well, what is refractory wax used for? Refractory wax can be put in a thermionic fabricator in forestry along with a log, and you can make a log, you can make a kind of a wood fireproof. Yes, this is very important for me. I could fireproof my entire house if I wanted to. Now, I do know this means that I cannot use certain chisel woods. However, if I could fireproof the actual coop, then I could use other power sources in the coop area. I could use other power sources that I normally wouldn't worry about, that I normally wouldn't deal with, for things like lava. So, yeah, I'm going to wait. Whoop. Okay, this is finished. This is finished. That was fast. Faster than I thought. Ignoble stock, one a generation in captivity. Etc., etc. I think I've already identified that. There's that. I need to do that one. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I saw a weird message pop up on my recording software. Wanted to make sure everything was fine, and it is. It turns out there's an update available, but I'm not going to do that now. So, I have, let's see. Frugal Queen. I'm going to have to wait until this one finishes. But I do actually have, once the Frugal Queen finishes, I really wish I had some soul frames. Can I actually make frames? There we go. I don't think temporal and necrotic. Okay, an impregnated frame and soul sand. I think, I'm trying to remember. Oh, wow, it's been long since I've dealt with frames, but if I remember right, in apiaries that, and I'm going based off of what my friend Mysterious Ages used, he has a bank of apiaries where he was getting quick turnover to get specific breed bees, combination breeds done with quickly. So, in his setup, if I remember right, he has soul frames in those. And I could make some impregnated sticks pretty easy. That would require seed oil. I'm going to get into that later. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to wait. I'm actually going to put all those back. Oh, I forgot. We were going over this. Okay, hang on a sec. While we're waiting for that bee breed to go through. Phosphor. This is another product of these simmering bees, right? Or sinister bees. They make simmering combs, and I can get refractory wax for fireproofing actual fireproofing of wood, or I can also get 70% chance of phosphor. Well, okay, what's the use of phosphor? Well, if you run it through a squeezer, you can make lava, which means if I actually have a bank of apiaries that are using sinister bees, constantly looping, I could get all of that lava, all of those simmering combs that they generate, run them through a squeezer, and get the phosphorus out, right? I then put the refractory wax in a barrel. I move the phosphorus over to a squeezer. Attached to the squeezer is also a igneous extruder that pumps out cobblestone. Both of them can go in here. They take a little bit of power to squeeze these two together and get lava. We popped the lava out to a power generation. I might be able to actually turn this into a feasible method for lava generation for future bases. I think this could be really cool. So yeah, I was very intrigued to see that. Okay, I'm going to wait for this Frugal Queen to finish, and I'll be right back with you guys as soon as it's done. Perfect timing. There we go. I've now got a Frugal Princess. I'm going to put that down there. I've got a couple of Frugal Drones. Now, first things first, I'm going to actually pop these in the Bealizer. Slowest. Lifespan long. That could be interesting. I might want to actually isolate that, if possible, for the Edenic bees. We'll see. Might have to make more Frugals. Oh, wait a minute. Boop, there we go. Diurnal, nocturnal, yada yada yada. Cacti. So, I have all the bees I need. By the way, I had to move it over here because it started raining. Now, well, just when it finishes, it's done raining, of course. I have temperature tolerance, humidity tolerance, higher fertility, and tolerant flyer in here, specifically because I want to make sure they can all fly in the rain. These, both one and down one, I want to make sure these have the widest temperature tolerance as possible, highest fertility rate possible, and generally want to make sure, I might not have wanted to do that now that I think about it, but whatever, we'll see. Every once in a while, once every blue moon, you put something through one of these Gendustry machines, and you get something called genetic waste, which looks like a messed up bee. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, there we go. So now, I'm actually going to get one of these when it finishes. Put that down there. Put the Sinisters over here out of the way. Basically, I have to get this modest princess. There we go. And Frugal Drone. The only option we have is austere. Dun dun dun. Austere unknown. Let's see what carried over. Longer, not just long, but longer lifespan. That's interesting. Cacti. Fertility 2. That did not carry over very well. I did. These both should have fertility 4, but they probably have fertility 2 as a inactive as well. Figure it out. Effect. Creeper. I don't know what this means. Possible mutations. Okay. Let's see. Where is my apiarist database? Austere. Effect creeper. What does that mean? Modest plus frugal equals austere, and we knew that. Further mutations, all sorts of stuff that I don't have unlocked yet. Biomes, normal, warm to hot, and then arid. Oh, okay. This produces parched and powdery combs. That is interesting. But I don't know what the creeper effect is. Oh, God. Wait a minute. What was that? Austere. Dangerous and volatile beekeepers are advised to stay in full suits whenever nearby. Ooh, boy. So it seems like we might have a potentially volatile bee on our hands. And I'm thinking we might have to actually deal with this when I come back. Basically, I'm supposed to get austere and one tropical and merge them together into an exotic. My question is, I wonder if there is an upgrade for these at Gendustry. that will actually negate effects. Is that a thing? Wait a minute. Effect creeper. Is that what it is? Yeah, effect creeper. Okay. So, here's the hilarious thing, right? I have this little template. Nope. That is frugal and frugal. Let's put those down there. Okay. So I need to get a spare template somewhere. Blank genetic sample. Genetic sample. Blank genetic. Oh, wait a minute. Genetic template. There we go. I just want one. Thank you. That will be plenty. Why do I want this? Well, I have, whoops, right over here. Effect none. Yes. So now what I can actually do is I'm going to get one of those. I always want to keep a backup of this. So we're going to make a copy of our effect none. We put one of these back in here to keep in our master copies, so to speak. I'm going to get this template, put this on there. The only thing we have on this template is none. That's it, because we don't want to apply none to everything. If we put the effect none onto the Edenic bees, they won't generate experience anymore. And that's bad. So now I can put our austere bee through this processor and I think turn off the creeper effect. Fingers crossed. Here's to hoping. Now I am also going to process it again, I think, if it survives the trip. Diurnal, nocturnal, arid. Okay, so now what happens if I put this in here? Effects none. Yes. That works perfectly. We're going to keep this over there somewhere so that we can actually do that. I think now what I can actually do is put that right there. And it is going. Yes. So now I actually get to wait for this bee. Oh, wait a minute. That means I can actually put it in here and keep track of progress a lot better. Okay, so I'm back and we've got working 13%. Watch this. Energy consumption +5. It is going to go up a lot. Put all 4 in there. Each one is minus 33% on lifespan, but this is boosting energy usage by 20% now. Well, 5 + 5 + 5 + 5, whatever that is. So now the next tick this thing has, it doesn't go from 15 to 17, it goes from 15 to 23. This will shorten our workload considerably. And no nasty effects thanks to our none effect nab. This is why some of these things can make things so easy. If I have an austere bee that has a creeper effect and it causes me to randomly detonate and explode, I don't want to use that near my expensive equipment. I don't want to have to go out to some other location. This lets us get around that, and I really do love that kind of thing. Being able to bend the rules in the system to your own needs. It's really cool. Let's see, powdery and parched combs. What does this give? Gunpowder. Ooh, that's nice. And then, of course, parched combs give just beeswax and honey. Less honey than normal. But whatever. 40%, that's about 17%, I think. I don't know what it is per. Let's see. Per tick, per update, that is. 82%. Now what I'm going to have to do is get an Edenic bees and then breed enough of them that I can run them through this several times until I get, instead of effect none, I get effect experience. And that way I can turn any bee I want into an XP bee if I so chose. And that could be really, really cool. We're in the home stretch here. There's probably only 1, maybe 2 ticks left. I've got several steps to this process that I'm going to have to go through, unfortunately, which means that I might not get the Edenic this time around. There's the austere princess, some austere drones. Let's get our combs out of here. Gonna put them in there. My diverse comb collection: stringy, frozen, parched, mundane, powdery, simmering, rocky, and mossy. All sorts of stuff there. First, let's do austere. Effect none. Inactive. Creeper. Effect creeper. Ooh, these have. Let's pull this back out. I'm going to get my effect none. I'm just going to run these little pests through it so they actually have no effect. Then I actually get my austere, one of my tropical drones, and I can get an exotic. Left click to pick that. This is why I love the advanced mutatron. Absolutely love it. I am running through probably pretty hideous amounts of power. Actually, no. I'm doing good. There's one austere. I actually don't need these guys right now. Austere, there's 2 of them. That is my exotic. Now, normally what I would actually do warm, wait a minute, damp, effect, poison. Ooh, okay, so I'm very, very happy to be able to render that neutral. I would like to actually breed up some normal exotic bees in the future so that I could specifically get that poison effect off it, but I don't know why I would use that. The only reason I would intentionally make poisonous bees is I was going to troll a server mate and actually put them under their base floor or something. And that just that could be mean if they cannot find it quick enough. So what I want to do, this is going to spread out the environmental diversity. It's going to increase the humidity tolerance, increase the temperature tolerance, higher fertility, tolerant flyer. Which means that that bee is going to be much more capable. Now, I think it needs vines. I can't remember. Do I have flowering? I do not have flowering. Ooh. I wonder if I'm going to have to... Flowers. I think I'm going to have to use that one instead. The full 12, or the almost full 12. Let's look at this real quick. Flower type jungle, which I think means vines, something I have nothing of. So I'm going to risk another pass through the machine. The only thing this doesn't have is species. That's the only thing this doesn't have. And that would be bad because I would be changing this into some other species. There we go. Flowers for flower type. So now what I can actually do. Exotic queen. Hostile environment. Let's do half of those. One of those. I'm going to put one of those in. Is that enough? So hot and humid. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. Exotic princess. A whole bunch of drones. me get that also. We are going to actually inactive poison, inactive poison, inactive poison, inactive poison. Woo, okay. So we don't have to worry about that one being poisonous. We're going to get this one and this one, and we should have our Edenic queen. Ooh. Which means now, let's see, it is going to need effect Explorer. I think that's the one we're looking for. Longer lifespans. Okay, this does not alter lifespan at all. It is going to be fertility increase up to 4. Let's see, it's warm both to temperature up to, both to humidity up 1. So this is going to be both 1, both 2. Tolerant flyer, it will give it an increased fertility. Let's cross our fingers, hope that nothing goes crazy in the imprinting process. And then we can put this thing in the actual apiary and see what happens. There we go. I now have 1 level of experience. If you've noticed, I'm actually gaining experience. So what I want to do is I want to let this run. I want to breed as many drones as possible. Once I get enough drones, I can run whole stacks of them through the sampler until I can get a sample for species Edenic. Or until I can actually get effect Explorer. Once I get one or both of those, I can make my own unique template for the Edenic bee. Which means, I'll probably transform this rocky one, but what that means is I can make more Edenic bees. The more bees that you have going on with this effect in an area, the more concentrated the effect is, which means I will gather levels quicker and quicker and quicker. As of right now, I am just standing here and I'm gaining levels. I am at level 2 and rising. It will cross over to 3 probably pretty shortly. Next tick, maybe? 3, there we go. So the Edenic bee quest has finally been finished. I really am excited that I've finally gotten this far in. I have had to borrow and get the assistance of some other pros in order to get here, but I'm still happy with the results. I'm going to catch you guys later on the next episode of ForgeCraft 2. This has gone long enough. I'll see you Thursday. Bye-bye.